Well, looking at conditions right now, certainly a lot quieter than this time yesterday when we were watching the freezing rain creeping north across Arkansas into southern Missouri. Still a few lingering flurries out there. Temperatures starting to edge back the other direction. So while there was a little bit of melting today, everything's going to harden back up as we head through this evening. Now, I think roads are going to tend to stay in okay shape, but I can't completely rule out maybe a few slick spots, especially on those bridges, and especially on those bridges that haven't been treated. Looks like the highest chances for that to occur are going to tend to be along and north of the interstate. As far as where the ice storm was most impactful, and this wasn't the biggest ice storm that we've had, but it was a pretty solid ice storm. In fact, it looks like this is, I believe, if I remember correctly from my records, I think this is probably the biggest ice storm generally since about January of 17. We picked up generally 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch. The lower totals near Highway 60, the higher totals not too far to the north of Highway 60 and north into central Missouri. Even had some ice in the higher elevation areas of northwest Arkansas. In fact, there were some patchy areas of ice in between, but it didn't amount to a whole lot. As far as snow, that too didn't amount to a whole lot, but it was a pretty topping to the candy coating of ice that we had from last night's freezing rain. Lebanon, that was the biggest total. I had a viewer there share a photo, 1.5 inches measured. Billings picking up just shy of an inch. Ash Grove about 1/2 inch. Officially for Springfield, at least out at the airport, just shy of an inch at 0.8 inches. Now, winter weather advisories have been lifted across the area. We don't have to worry about that overnight tonight, but there is going to be another round of wintry weather, I think, on Saturday. Now, overnight tonight, we're going to hold on to low cloudiness. And it looks like as some upper level energy begins to work on that low level moisture, I can't rule out the possibility of some patchy, light, freezing drizzle closer to morning on Saturday. I think the chance for precipitation is going to increase during the morning on Saturday as an upper level storm begins to intensify as it makes its way from southwest to northeast across the area. So by noon, I do expect an area of mainly light snow. There could be some drizzle or freezing drizzle in there as well. And then this will continue to expand up the interstate as we work through the afternoon hours. There's 3 o'clock, take you into the early evening, and then by 9 o'clock, we're saying goodbye to that system. And you'll notice if you were watching those temperatures don't warm up tomorrow. It looks like we're looking at highs tomorrow in most spots, especially areas that have some snow and ice, staying in the low 30s. So with that, this is what we can expect in terms of any minor accumulations. Looks like generally 1/2 inch or less here over southwest Missouri and northwest Arkansas. Once you get from Springfield and certainly northeast, there is going to be a higher chance somewhere near the interstate here that we could see some totals around, if not maybe a little bit over the 1 inch mark. With that snow coming through during the day, I think roads are going to tend to stay okay, but I can't rule out slick spots, especially with those temperatures not really warming much above freezing, if at all. As far as other expectations, accumulations should be light, and I think they're mainly going to be on those grassy surfaces and rooftops. By Sunday, things are looking better. There could be some morning fog, but then that should give way to sunshine, and it looks like the bulk of the day will be mostly sunny and will really start to thaw things out with temperatures heading well above the freezing mark. In fact, after a cold morning, about 23 here in Springfield, we're looking at an afternoon high of 46 degrees. I think areas to the south where we've had less winter weather and we don't have to melt off a whole lot, we're going to find temperatures closer to the 50-degree mark. And I think here in Springfield, we're going to be up near 50 on Monday. I've cooled that back a little bit just because of the ice and snow that we've seen. On Tuesday, should be looking at highs in the 50s. Our next storm coming into the area on Wednesday with rain moving in. And I think that storm, too, just given the track and the evolution, could generate some rain to snow opportunities on Thursday of next week.
Okay, something to keep an eye on, and maybe on Sunday we'll see a lot of this ice that we have here in Springfield
It'll be nice
melt.
just to see the sunshine.
It will be.
I miss it.
Will. All right, Jamie, thank you.